Did you know that every day, you pass by places where the veil between the living and the dead is as thin as a whisper? It's an unsettling truth, but our world is filled with spots where the eerie echoes of the past still linger. These haunted locations, steeped in mystery and intrigue, are believed to be inhabited by spirits of different kinds, each with their own chilling tales. Today, we will venture into three of the most haunted places on Earth, where the line between the living and the dead is blurred. Off the coast of Venice, Italy, there is an island that many fear to tread, Poveglia Island. Adrift in the Venetian lagoon, this solitary island holds a dark and turbulent history. It was once a place of refuge, but soon became a ground soaked in despair and death. In the 14th century, Poveglia served as a quarantine station for victims of the bubonic plague. The island was nothing more than a final stop for those who were condemned by the deadly disease. Their bodies burned on giant pyres that lit up the night sky. Years later, the island became home to an insane asylum. The doctor in charge was said to have been as mad as the patients he purported to cure. Legend has it that he would torture and experiment on his patients, driven by a morbid curiosity. In a twist of poetic justice, the doctor allegedly leapt from the ghosts of those he had tormented. Even today, locals swear they can hear the screams of the island's tormented souls when the wind blows a certain way, the phantom tolling of a bell, the whispers of the lost, and the doctor's chilling laughter echo across the water. The island is now abandoned, but the chilling echoes of its past remain, forever haunting the Venetian lagoon. Eastern State Penitentiary in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, was once the most famous and expensive prison in the world. Now it is one of the most haunted. Built in the early 19th century, the prison was renowned for its grand architecture and strict discipline. In its prime, Eastern State Penitentiary was the epitome of a solitary confinement system. Prisoners lived alone, ate alone, and even exercised alone in individual yards. Imagine the psychological toll it must have taken on the inmates, living in such isolation. The penitentiary housed some of the most notorious criminals of the time, including the infamous bank robber Willie Sutton and the legendary gangster Al Capone. Their spirits, among others, are said to linger within the prison's formidable stone walls. Now let's delve into the haunting tales that shroud this place. In Cell Block 4, visitors and staff have reported sightings of shadowy figures that dart in and out of cells. There's an eerie sense of being watched, a feeling that's hard to shake off. Then there's Cell Block 12, known for its mysterious laughter. Echoes of chilling cackles dance down the corridors with no decipherable source. It's as if the walls themselves are imbued with the tormented mirth of past prisoners. While the penitentiary has been out of operation since 1971, it seems some of its former inhabitants have never left. The Tower of London, a historic castle in the heart of the city, is a place where royal blood was spilled and traitors met their end. And it seems some of those spirits are not at rest. This stone fortress, with its grim, weathered walls, has been a prominent feature of London's skyline for nearly 1,000 years. It has served as a royal palace, a treasury, and most infamously, a prison. Kings and queens, traitors and innocents, their lives and deaths are etched into the tower's history. Among the spectral inhabitants, one of the most famous is Anne Boleyn, the ill-fated second wife of King Henry VIII. Accused of treason, she was beheaded at the tower in 1536. Many claim to have seen her ghost, headless, wandering the castle grounds, a sad testament to a life cut short by the whims of a king. The White Tower, the oldest part of the castle complex, has its own share of ghostly sightings, unseen hands tugging at clothes, sudden drops in temperature, and shadowy figures that vanish as quickly as they appear. These stories have been passed down through generations, adding to the eerie lore of this ancient castle. The Tower of London is more than just a historic monument, it's a place where the past refuses to die, where echoes of centuries-old tragedies continue to reverberate. The Tower of London stands as a monument to the city's bloody past, a past that continues to haunt its ancient walls. These are but a few of the countless haunted locations around the world. Poveglia Island, Eastern State Penitentiary, the Tower of London, each steeped in history, each echoing with chilling tales. In these places, the line between the living and the dead is thin indeed, but remember, not all specters are seen. Some are felt and some are heard whispering in the dark.